Now for our first episode of Beer, Bros, and Bon Appetit, we're going to take a look at an Italian classic, Bruschetta. Now typically, it's viewed as a starter, but I'm going to show you how to turn it into the main event. Let's take a look. We have some chicken breast, we have some red tomato, basil, garlic, lemon, red onion. We have our Italian seasoning, extra virgin olive oil, salt and pepper, Italian blend cheese, and balsamic vinegar. What I like to do, and you can skip this step entirely, is marinate the chicken for a little bit, 20-30 minutes. Typically what I'll do is I will slice up a lemon here, just like so. Now you noticed I was rolling it. Now what that does is it frees up the juices a little bit. If your lemon is a little riper, you can put it in the microwave for 30 seconds, and that softens it up quite a bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my chicken here. So I'm just going to place the chicken in a Ziploc bag here, like so. Be careful not to contaminate anything. I will take half of this lemon here that I've cut, and I am just going to squeeze the juice of half the lemon. Just squeeze it right inside the bag. It doesn't matter if you get seeds in it right now because we're going to take it out after. I'm also going to drizzle some olive oil. It's about 2 tablespoons roughly. I have my Italian seasoning along with my garlic powder. I'm also going to put that in the bag because I'm going to use it to coat the chicken. Now before I close up the bag, I'm just going to give it a couple of cracks of some salt and some pepper. Now freshly ground pepper is my preference. You don't have to use it. It's just the way I like to roll. And just a little bit of salt. Now, you can salt and pepper this, season it to your liking. So now I've zipped up the Ziploc bag here, and I am just going to shake the hell out of it. So you can see that it's evenly coated. The chicken will be nice and covered, and it'll all be nice and even. So all I'm going to do for the next 20 or 30 minutes with this chicken is let it sit in the fridge. Now while we wait for the chicken, let's get the bruschetta dressing ready. Before we do that, let's preheat the oven to 350. So now let's start with just a little tip that I like to use. For when I'm cutting vegetables, I will use a bowl. Just a simple bowl. And I will use one of my compost bags. So we'll just put that in. You'll thank yourself later. Just makes cleanup a little bit easier. First off, what we're going to do is we are going to cut up this onion. Now, we'll probably only need about, let's say, 1/4 of it. Make sure you have a medium-sized bowl handy. And what we're going to do is we're going to mix all of our ingredients into this bowl. So let's just start by cutting your onion in half. we got half our onion here. So we've got half our onion. We are just going to cut that up. Now it's quartered, and we are going to just remove that skin. Nobody likes skin in their bruschetta. And we will give that a nice chop. Now it doesn't have to be too finely chopped, because it'll give some nice textures. Now hopefully I don't cry throughout this episode because of the onions. But if I do, I'm just a sensitive guy. So just throw that in a bowl, like so. So next, what we're going to do is we're going to cut up the basil. We will lightly shred it. That smells amazing. So what I like to do is just kind of take the basil, put it together, give it a nice little roll, give it a good cut down the middle, and then just dice it up nice and finely like this. And if there's any stems in the basil as you cut it, just take them out. But you know what? I don't think you can have too much basil, so I'm going to put a little bit more. Again, just roll her up. Get her sliced down the middle, and little cuts. Now I'm going to put the rest of this basil aside, and we will use it as a garnish later on. Next, what we'll do is we are going to mince up the garlic. I like to use my microplaner, so it makes it nice and fine, and you just peel your garlic and it will do the rest of the work for you. Let's take a look at this. Now, I don't know if you have had a hard time peeling garlic in the past. Something I like to do is, especially when I'm using my microplaner, just cut the tip off. Just the tip. And the skin usually comes off nice and easy. Now if it doesn't, what you can do is just give it a light little crack here. You see what I'm doing? I just cut the end off. Take my knife. Just press down gently till you hear it crack. And that's it. Look how nice and easy this comes off. Just like this. Okay. Almost effortless. The smell of fresh garlic is amazing. See how easy that comes off? Now I'm going to take my microplaner and I'm just going to put it right on top of the bowl, and the garlic. Just go back and forth. Watch your fingers. It's pretty sharp. So next we're going to add in our tomatoes. Now normally I would have used Roma tomatoes because they tend to be a little bit more firm, but I didn't have any, so I'm just going to use regular red tomatoes. Now if you've ever cut up a tomato before, you know that they tend to get mushy and runny. So a trick that my brother showed me is you just pop this bad boy in the freezer for 15-20 minutes, and it gels up the juices, so it doesn't make it as runny. It makes it easier to cut up. Now it doesn't matter if it gets runny after it's cut up. You're gonna mix it all in all together, and it's going to add a nice layer of texture and flavor to the chicken once it's being cooked. I'm just going to slice them up, and then we'll cube them, throw them right in the bowl. Oh yeah, that did work nicely. There we go. Now we're just going to cut these up, and we're going to throw them right in the bowl. Just cube them. It's okay if it gets a little bit juicy in the bowl. So now the tomatoes are all cut up and they are in the bowl. So now we're going to move on to the olive oil and the balsamic vinegar, and we're just going to put about a tablespoon of each, and we'll put it directly into the bowl. One tablespoon of balsamic vinegar and 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil. That'll go in. Perfect. Now we still have our Italian blend cheese. Now I've put in about 1.5 cups in the bowl here. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to take a handful, and I'm going to put that in. So that's going to be about 1/2 cup, let's say. So we'll put some salt, and again, just season it like the way you like it. And now for some pepper. This is already smelling good, and I haven't even cooked anything yet. This isn't typical in a bruschetta. Now I'm going to take the other half of my lemon, and I am just going to use my microplaner again. And I'm just going to add a little bit of zest. So the zest is the skin, the peel of the lemon, and we're just going to kind of gently go around that. Just put a little bit of that zest in, and then I am going to give it a nice little squeeze. Now, this time you don't want to get the pits into the bowl. So what I suggest is you take your lemon, cut side up, and just give it a squeeze. That keeps the seeds inside the lemon. There we go, and that's all we need for that. I'm gonna give it a good quick mix. Let's do it. So just give that a nice little tossing so that everything, I guess it didn't go through. Everything gets all nice and mixed. That balsamic vinegar absolutely smells delicious. This smells good, guys. So now we're going to take this, we'll put it in the fridge while we cook the chicken. Here, so our time is up waiting for the chicken. Now what I've done is I've taken a pan and I've covered it in foil, as you can see here. Now again, it's just to facilitate cleaning later on. Again, you'll thank yourself later. Just makes it a little bit easier. So now we can take our chicken out of the Ziploc bag. Oh yeah, you can smell that Italian seasoning. You can smell the lemon. It smells great, guys. And I am just going to place that onto our tinfoil wrapped pan or sheet. So now I'm going to put this into the oven for a little bit, and we are going to just let it go for about 10 minutes. And again, all we can do is sit back and drink beer while this happens. Once this is done, I'm going to take it out of the oven. I'm going to put some cheese on, and then I will also put our dressing on as well that we've put together. I'm going to put the thermometer in just to make sure that the chicken gets to temperature. I want to make sure that it's cooked to 165 degrees Fahrenheit. Case of chicken almost is not good enough. Let's get it right. Don't want to make anybody sick. Excellent. Looks like it's almost time to check the chicken. Well, I can already see that it's not quite done yet, but I'm going to insert the thermometer again just to make sure that we're not undercooking the chicken, because we certainly do not want to do that. I'm just going to insert the thermometer about halfway into the chicken. And let's see what kind of reading we get now. Yeah, see, as you can see, not quite there, but it won't be too long. So, let's put the chicken back in. We'll check on it in another 5 minutes. Turn that off. Okay, almost there at 147 degrees Fahrenheit. 149. We're going to take it out. And now we're going to put on some of that Italian blend cheese. Get that on all nice, and it's okay if it falls to the side. Put some of that on. This is going to be delicious. We'll put it right back in so that this cheese can melt, and it should be brought back up to temperature by the time it's done. Looks like it's ready. Let's check this out. Beautiful. 165 degrees Fahrenheit. That smells great, guys. This looks amazing. Remember I said clean up as a breeze? Just like that. It's done. So now we are going to drizzle some of this bruschetta on here. Be nice and generous. got some left over, if you want to throw it in for your rice, or if you want to make an actual bruschetta with that, won't hold that against you. I like to put more cracked pepper on there. Let's do some of that. Now today I'm going to cheat. I am going to use a balsamic drizzle. All we're going to do is just drizzle that baby on. Oh, doesn't that look nice? And then more of that basil that we cut up earlier. I'm just going to throw a little bit more on. And there you have it, bruschetta chicken. I can't wait to try it. So I'm just sitting down to try the bruschetta chicken that we've made, and I'll tell you, it smells great and it looks good too. So now the moment of truth. Let's take a bite and see how it is. Oh, that chicken is juicy. It's beautiful. Let's take a bite. Marinating it for that 20 minutes, half an hour with that lemon juice. You get the citrus flavor and the bruschetta. That bruschetta mix is beautiful. I really hope you guys try this. All the information will be in the details below. Thank you very much for joining us at Beer, Bros, and Bon Appetit. Have a great night. This is really good.